Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I feel good today. Okay, I will start first. On this occasion, I will tell you about what is GPS. GPS, or Global Positioning System, is a global navigation satellite system that provides location, velocity, and time synchronization. GPS is everywhere. You can find GPS system in your car, your smartphone, and your watch. GPS help you get where you are going from point A to point B. What is GPS? What GPS and how does it work? The Global Positioning System (GPS) is a navigation system using satellites, a receiver, and algorithms to synchronize location, velocity, and time data for air, sea, and land travel. The satellite system consists of a constellation of 24 satellites in 6 Earth-centered orbital planes, each with 4 satellites orbiting at 13,000 miles (20,000 kilometers) above Earth and traveling at a speed of 8,700 mph. Well, we only need 3 satellites to produce a location on Earth's surface. A fourth satellite is often used to validate the information for the other 3. The fourth satellite also moves us into the third dimension and allows us to calculate the altitude of device. What are the 3 elements of GPS? GPS is made up of 3 different components, called segments, that work together to provide location information. The 3 segments of GPS are space satellites, the satellites circling the Earth transmitting signal to user on geographical position and time of day. 2. Ground control. The control segment is made up of Earth-based monitor station, master control station, and ground antenna. Control activity include tracking and operating the satellites in space and monitoring transmission. There are monitoring stations on almost every continent in the world, including North and South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Next, user equipment, GPS, receiver, and transmitter including items like watches, smartphone, and telematic device. How does GPS technology work? GPS work through a technique called trilateration, used to calculate location, velocity, and elevation. Trilateration collects signal from satellites to output location information. It is often mistaken for triangulation, which is used to measure angles, not distance. Satellites orbiting the Earth and send signal to be read and interpreted by a GPS device situated on or near the Earth's surface to calculate location. A GPS device must be able to read the signal from at least 4 satellites. Each satellite in the network circles the Earth twice a day, and each satellite sends a unique signal, orbital parameters, and time. At any given moment, a GPS device can read the signal from 6 or more satellites. A signal satellite broadcasts a microwave signal, which is picked up by a GPS device and used to calculate the distance from the GPS device to the satellite. Since a GPS device only gives information about the distance from a satellite, a single satellite cannot provide much location information. Satellites do not give off information about angles, so the location of a GPS device could be anywhere on a sphere surface area. When a satellite sends a signal, it creates a circle with a radius measured from the GPS device to the satellite. When we add a second satellite, it creates a second circle, and the location is narrowed down to an of 2 points where the circle intersects. With a third satellite, device location can finally be determined, as the device is at the intersection of all 3 circles. That said, we live in a three-dimensional world, which means that each satellite produces a sphere, not a circle. The intersection of three pairs produces 2 points of intersection, so the point nearest Earth is chosen. What are the uses of GPS? GPS, a powerful and dependable tool for business and organization in many different industries. Surveyors, scientists, pilots, boat captains, first responders, and workers in mining and agriculture are just some of the people who use GPS on daily basis for work. They use GPS information for preparing accurate survey and maps, taking precise time measurements, tracking position or location, and for navigation. GPS work at all time in almost all weather conditions. There are five main uses of GPS. First, location, determining a position. Two, navigation, getting from one location to another. Three, tracking, monitoring object or personal movement. Four, mapping, creating maps of the world. Five, timing, making it possible to take precise time measurements. Some specific examples of GPS use case include emergency response during a emergency or natural disaster. First responding use GPS for mapping, following and prediction weather, and keeping track of emergency personnel. In the EU and Russia, the ECOL regulation released on GLONASS technology, a GPS alternative, and telematics to send data to emergency service in the case of a vehicle crash, reducing response time and entertainment. GPS can be incorporated into games and activities like Pokemon Go and geocaching. And health and fitness, smartwatch and wearable technology can track fitness activity, such as running distance and benchmark it against a similar demographic. And construction, mining, and off-road tracking from location equipment to measuring and improving asset allocation. GPS enables companies to increase return on their assets. And transportation, logistic companies implement telematic system to improve driver productivity and safety. A truck tracker can be used to support route optimization, fuel efficiency, and driver safety compliance. How accurate is GPS? GPS device accuracy depends on many variables, such as the number of satellites available, the ionosphere, the urban environment, and more. Some factors that can hinder GPS accuracy include physical obstruction. Arrival time measurement can be swayed by large masses like mountains, buildings, trees, and more. Atmospheric effects, ionospheric delays, heavy storm cover, and solar storm can all affect GPS device. Ephemeris, the orbital model within a satellite could be incorrect or out of date, although this is become increasingly rare. Numerical miscalculation. This might be a factor when the device hardware is not designed to specification. And artificial interference. This includes GPS jamming device or spoofs. A brief history of GPS. Humans have been practicing navigation for thousands of years using the sun, moon, stars, and later the sextant. GPS was an advancement of the 20th century made possible by space-age technology. GPS technology has been used globally through history. The launch of Russia Sputnik 1 satellite in 1957 used impossible of geolocation capabilities, and soon after, the U.S. Department of Defense began using it for submarine navigation. The future of GPS. Countries continue to build and make improvements to their GPS system. Efforts worldwide are being made to increase accuracy and improve reliability and GPS capability. For example, GNSS receivers are expected to become smaller, more accurate, and more efficient, and GNSS technology is set to penetrate even the most cost-sensitive GPS applications. Two scientists and rescue workers are finding new ways to use GPS technology in natural disaster prevention and analysis in the event of an earthquake, volcanic eruption, sinkhole, or avalanche. For the COVID-19 pandemic, researchers are looking at using cell phone location data to assist with contact tracing in order to slow down the spread of the virus. 3. The launch of new GPS-3 satellites will refine GPS accuracy 1 and 3 meters, improve navigation abilities, and longer-lasting components as early as 2023 by broadcasting and the L1C civilian signal or for interoperability with other satellite systems. And the next generation of GPS satellites will include better signal protection, decreased susceptibility to signal jamming, and more maneuverability to cover dead zones. And last, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) Deep Space Automatic Clock is set to use a powerful onboard GPS satellite to help provide better consistency in time for future astronauts embarking on deep space journey. The future of GPS tracking will likely be far more accurate and effective for both personal and business use. This is the end my presentation. Thank you. We continue by Rahayu or Sinta maybe.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
I will tell you about APA, Application Programming Interface. API is the acronym for Application Programming Interface, which is a software intermediary that allow two applications to talk to each other. Each with you as the app like Facebook, send an instant message, or check the weather on the phone. You're the UCA using an APA. What is an example of APA? When you ask an application on your mobile phone, the application connect to the internet and send data to a server. The server then retrieves that data, interpret it, performs the necessary action, and send it back to your phone. The application then interpret that data and present you with the information you wanted in the readable way. This is what an APA is all that happen with API. To explain this better, let us take a familiar example. Imagine you're sitting at the table in a restaurant with a menu of choice to order from. The kitchen is the part of the system what will prepare your order. What is missing is the critical thing to communicate your order to the kitchen and deliver your food back to your table. That's where the waiter or APA comes in. The waiter is the messenger or APA. Text the text you request to order and tells the kitchen, the system what to do. Then the waiter deliver the response back to you. In this case is the food. Here is real life APA example. You may be familiar with the process of searching flights online. Just like the restaurant, you have a variety of options to choose from, including different cities, departure and return dates, and more. Let us imagine that you're booking your flight on the airline website. You choose the departure city and date, a return city and date cabin class, as well as other variables. In order to book your flight, you interact with the airline's website to access their data and see if any seats are available to those dates and what the cost might be. However, what if you are not using the airline website? A channel that has direct access to information. What if you are using an online travel service, such as Kayak or Expedia, which aggregates information from a number of islands database? That travel service is this class interact with the airlines IP. The IP is the interface that, like your Apple waiter, can be asked by the online travel service to get information from the airline's database to book seat. The option, the APA Then takes the airline's response to your request and delivers it right to back your online travel service, which the so do must update relevant information. What API also provides is layer of security. Your phone data is never fully exposed to the server, and likewise, the server is never fully exposed to your phone. Instead, each communicate with small package of data, sharing only that which is necessary, like ordering takeout. You tell the restaurant what you would like to eat. Uh, they tell you what they need in return, and then in the end get your the meal. API have become the valuable that they compress the large part of main business. In a few major companies like Google, eBay, Salesforce.com, Amazon, Expedia are just a few of the companies that make money from their API. What the API economy refers to is this marketplace of API. The modern API. Over the years, what an API is has often described any sort of binary connectivity interface to an application. More recently, however, the modern API has taken on some characteristics that make that extraordinarily valuable and useful. Modern APIs are there to standard typical HTTP and REST that are developer friendly, easily accessible, and understood daily. They are fed more like product than code. They are designed for consumption of specific audience. Mobile developers, they are document and they are passionate in the way that user and can have certain expansion of its maintain and lifecycle because they are much more standardized that have a much strong discipline for security and governance, as well as monitor and management for performance and scale. As any other piece of productive software, the modern API has its own software developer lifecycle SDLC of designing, testing, building, managing, and versioning. Also, modern API are well defined for consuming. Types of API. Private API based application software interface are designed for improving solution and service within our organization. In-house developer or contractor may ask this API to integrate an company IT system or application. Build new system or customer-facing apps leveraging existing system. Even if apps are publicly available, the interface itself remains available only for those working directly with the API publisher. The private strategy allows a company to fully control the API usage. Partner API. Partner API are openly promoted but share with business partners who have signed an agreement with the publisher. The common use case for partner API is software integration between two parties. A company that grants partner with access to data or scalability benefit from extra revenue stream. At the same time, it can monitor how the exposed digital assets are used, ensure whether third-party solutions using their API provide decent user experience, and maintain corporate identity it the apps public API. Also, now as developer facing or external, these API are available for any third-party developer. A public API program allows for increasing brand awareness and receiving an additional source of income when properly executed. There are two types of public API: open free of charge, and commercial ones. The open API definition suggests that all features of such an API are public and can be used without restrictive terms and conditions. For instance, it's possible to build an application that utilizes an API without explicit approval from the API supplier and mandatory licensing phase. The definition also states that the API description and any related documentation must be only available, and that the applicant be freely used to create the test application. Commercial API user pay subscription fees or use API on the pay-as-you-go basis. A popular approach among publishers is to offer free trial, so you can evaluate API before choosing a subscription. Thanks for thank you for attention. That's enough. Sahayu.
Hello, Al.
Hello.
Okay, now I want to tell you about augmented reality. What is augmented reality or AR? It's an experience where designers enhance parts of user physical world with computer-generated input. Designers create inputs ranging from sound to video, to graphics to GPS overlays, and more in digital content which respond in real time to change in the user's environment, typical movement. AR is placed in the world of extended reality. Augmented reality has science fiction roots dating to. However, Thomas Caudle described the term as technology, while designing to help doing work visualize intricate arcade system. A major advance with Louis Rosenberg's complex virtual fixture AR system for the US Air Force. AR releases followed in the consumer world, most notably the RR game, and the design to Art Toolkit. A technology explosion, for example with Microsoft HoloLens, distracted beyond AR in the classical sense, while AR software itself became increasingly sophisticated, popular, and affordable. Under the umbrella term extended reality, AR differs from VR and mixed reality (MR). Some confusion exists, notably between AR and MR, especially amid technology boom. Considerable debate continues about what each term confers. In user experience design you have AR. You design for digital elements to appear overall worldview, sometimes with limited interactive between them. Often via smartphones, examples include Apple's Arcade and Android's RR Core developers kits the Pokemon Go game. VR: You design immersive experience that isolate users from the real world, typical via headset device. Examples include PSVR for gaming, Oculus, and Google Cardboard, where users can explore Stonehenge using headset-mounted smartphones. MR: You're designed to combine AR and VR elements so digital objects can interact with the real world. Therefore, you design elements that are anchored to a real environment. Examples include Magic Leap and HoloLens, which users can use to learn more directly how to fix items. Partly because of the slight overlap regarding interactive brands, sometimes use AR interactually with MR, augmented reality, remains popular, despite the point that the original sense of AR design is overlaying digital elements upon real-world views. GPS filters or overlays on smartphone screens so users can find directions from street view. So, digital elements are merely superimposed on real-world views, not anchored directly to them. The computer-generated content cannot interact with the real-world elements users see, unlike in MR. The HoloLens is MR for instance because it interprets the space in a room and combines the digital object with the user's physical environment. AR is expanding appeal and potential. AR designers might have tried in a decade full of invaluable AR lessons and examples with the required sensors become cheaper. Pokemon Go is now toward a GPS-oriented app that inserts Pokemon character into user environment so user can find and chapter them on device screens. Google's AR sticker are another prime example. User drop user drop realistic image into the camera shots. Users find AR particularly appealing for its entertainment value. Till AR is mainstream future appears assured across a wide range of applications, including education inside museums. With AR application, you can bring experience closer to users in their own environment through designs that are more directly engineered, personalized, and indeed fun. How to take detailed step in the analog world? You have numerous design concerns, namely for safety. Remember use real-world context, don't distract, mislead them into danger. Second, overkill. Beware of drawing user sense with meaningless data. Keep experience contextualized. Third, environment. Unlike desktop experience, AR happens anywhere. So I am primarily for users context regarding whether they are outdoors or indoors and moving static. Whatever the setting, users expect pleasurable, user-friendly experience. ARUX mentions stipulate user scenarios. First, public, interacting with software using the entire body. Second, personal, using smartphone in public space. Third, intimate, sitting using a desktop. Fourth, private, using a wearable. Fourth, comfort, make comfortable design to prevent physical strain and reduce cognitive load. Fifth, secure AR data is rich, so designed to ensure users' data is secure. Five extensive dimensions of augmented reality. First, safety. Second, overkill. Third, environment. Fourth, comfort. Fifth, security. To get started with AR design, you should familiarize yourself with AR terminology and a new form of information architecture. Constantly ask where are users and how they all apply and adapt your design. Remember physical limitation, user hold device longer while seated. Make interface automatic so user need not prompt with commands. Consider voice controls. User AR software creating resource optimally. Offer easy onboarding. Provide clues and maximum predictability. Prioritize screen real estate. Design for accessibility. Design animation where you consider how frame rates and processing power impact on device compatibility. Ensure your design interprets and responds to user head movement and body gesture dynamically so user can act intuitively and briefly without giving commands. Ultimately, understand what users in various contexts expect before you try to meet the experience demands. Do user testing the converse all visible conditions. With advances in AR technology, these examples are not that different from what might already be available for the smartphone. Augmented reality is in fact already available and being used a myriad of ways, including as Snapchat lessons in apps that help you find your car and your car parking lot, and variety of shopping apps that let you try and on clothes without even leaving home. Perhaps the most famous example of AR technology is the mobile app Pokemon Go, which was released in quickly became an inescapable sensation. In the game, players locate and capture Pokemon characters that pop up in the real world, on your sidewalk, in a fountain, even your own bedroom. Game asset there are as uses for AR in everyday life as there a Pikachu on Lost in Pokemon Go. Here are just a few examples: Encat navigation system as a augmented reality to superimпose a road over the live view of the road. During football games, broadcasters use AR to draw lines on the field to illustrate and analyze plays. Furniture and housewares giant IKEA offers an AR app that lets you see how piece of furniture will look and fit in your space. Military pilots see an AR projection of their altitude, speed, and other data on their helmet visor, which means they don't need to watch focus by glancing down to see them. Northrop sometimes uses an AI projection of a 3D brain to add them in surgeries. At historical sites like Pompeii in Italy, AR can project views of ancient civilization of today's times, bringing the past to life. Ground crew at Singapore Airport wear AR glass to see information about cargo containers speeding up loading times. Okay, that's enough for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's just end the meeting this time. See you next time.
See you.
See you.